I think we got like two more. Let's see here. What's your name? Where are you from?
I'm Dee Dee and I'm from Dripping Springs.
And what's your question?
Okay, my question is for the Hecker Rad Shailene. And I wanted to know what the process was that you had to go through to play someone with cancer, like knowing that you'd never gone through something like that before.
That's a great question. You know, for me, it wasn't that hard because I don't believe that cancer defines a person. So I wasn't playing a 16-year-old who had cancer. I was playing a 16-year-old who was falling in love for the first time and who was going through the process of kissing a guy and going to Amsterdam with him and dealing with loss and grief and excitement and adventure and all of these things that we all go through at that beautiful time at that age. And then the cancer, I mean, for me, I met with some people who did have something similar to what Hazel had, just to bring the physicality of what it would be like to breathe with oxygen or to have to breathe with oxygen. But other than the physical aspects of what Hazel had, I completely disregarded it because that again, it doesn't define who you are. And so that was sort of my process. Thanks for the question.
I believe this is our last fan question. So what's your name? Where are you from?
Daniela Braniff, and I'm from the Woodlands, Texas.
Okay. And go ahead with your question.
Okay, so wow, last question. This is not nerve-wracking.
I know, right? Look at that.
Yeah, totally. Okay, so I guess you guys can answer sort of for each other. So Hazel picks Amsterdam with her destination of choice. So I guess you guys answer for each other. Where do you think Ansel or Nat or Shailene or maybe John would want to go, and why do you think so?
Good question. Great question. All right. Let's just we'll all do all three.
Okay, and we'll
You
see.
go first.
Oh.
I want to make Shay go first because she's smart. So I just thought I'd do it.
But I'm not that quick.
Nat, you go first.
Nat, you're really
You're not
quick.
that smart, but you're super
I know
quick.
that you would probably end up. Ansel would end up in like Ibiza.
That was a weird
That
hug.
was like a weird mating situation.
That was wrestling.
You got to pick where if we had a trip to Amsterdam, where each of the three of us would go.
No. Okay, well I know you would probably be in like Ibiza or somewhere where there's a lot of electric dance music. Right? Am I right?
Yeah, that's
Good,
totally
that's
right.
pretty good. Good to me.
You guys go. No, we'll take turns.
All right, for me, I think Shailene would go. Like, she'd probably live in like a cave in El Salvador, but I think she'd go to
Hawaii.
I think she'd go on a sailboat between Hawaiian islands.
That's a pretty fair assessment.
With Ansel, I agree. The like some kind of cool EDM. Did I say that right? Yeah. Sweet. Some kind of cool EDM like 3-day concert, but where you can also stay. You're not camping out.
Or you
You're
can
staying at a
rock climb.
fairly nice hotel.
And I can go to the beach. Ibiza's pretty good.
Ibiza, fine.
Never
What Shay
been.
said. And with Nat, I mean, I think.
John's house.
Yeah, my house. Yeah, which is way interestingly, I think for me, also my house. That's my favorite place because that's where my kids hang out.
So we have, sorry, did I interrupt?
No.
What are you going to say? Okay, we have one last question for John. Obviously, cancer is a very tough subject. We wanted to know what inspired you to write the book.
You know, I wanted to write a story. I mean, I was good friends with a young woman named Esther Earl. Yeah, you know, that's great. You guys should not feel weird about cheering for Esther. That's awesome. I was really good friends with this woman named Esther, who's a nerd fighter and a really important member of our community. And when she died of cancer when she was 16 in 2010, I was heartbroken. I was devastated, and I was also kind of brought back to a lot of the anger that I'd had many years before when I worked as a student chaplain at a children's hospital in Ohio. And I couldn't not write the story anymore. I couldn't not try to write about the people I'd known and cared about as I'd known about them and cared about them. People who were complex and had rich lives and short lives that were still meaningful, short lives that were still good lives. And I wanted to try to show them, as Shailene and Ansel and Nat have all talked about, as people who are not defined by their disability, as people who are not equivalent to their disability. Disability is part of their lives. It's part of a lot of our lives, but it's not the only thing that's happening in a disabled person's life. People who are unwell or who even very, very sick, even at the very end of their lives can have, or do have, all of the love and anger and humor and fear and everything else that any other life has. And I wanted to reclaim that full humanness for my friend, but also I guess like for myself. I wanted to kind of have that again. I in some ways I probably wanted to have her with me again, and that was a way of trying to do it.
A superhuman.
Oh, thanks, man. We love you guys so much. This has been such an amazing night. It's been so special for us. I want to thank our lovely hosts.
On this tour, you guys really, really like saying okay, so we want to make sure that we do that with you. So on a count of 3, you guys are going to say okay, and then you're going to say okay.
Are you ready, guys? Wait, Ansel's got to get his phone ready. This is key.
It's ready, it's ready.
It did not happen in Ansel's life if it has not been Instagrammed. I'll do it too. So I'm no better. 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Hold on, keep recording it though, because we actually have a surprise for y'all, so keep recording. You guys ready? We practiced this. Let's do it loud, let's do it proud, Texas style. Keep recording. Loud, guys. Ready? The stars at night are big and bright. Thank you, guys. For coming out. Hope you had a good time. Hope you got a lot of videos. Hope you got a lot of pictures. Don't forget the hashtag. Hit us up and add Texas TX at the end of that, okay? When you're leaving, please be careful, be safe. Signals apply. We want you to be safe. Just like you came